Hello everyone. My name is Rustam Muftahov. I'm a certified project manager, graduated from Manchester University with a master's degree, and I have over 5 years of project management experience. And I welcome you to Tuazama Universal Leadership Academy, where we are going to learn about project management and cover this topic in various areas and explore this world. I'm going to explain to you uh, different aspects of project management, but this time in this module, we are going to cover project lifecycle management, phases of project management, what is project management, and we will explore this wonderful word together. So without further ado, let's start. Uh, yeah, so what is project management? Uh, Project management is a very diverse area of expertise because many things in life, many things in work can be described as projects. But generally, projects is something that people do that has a selected time frame, something that has an end. It's something that brings results, brings improvements. And project management is the art and science of planning and organizing uh, people and resources to achieve specific goals. So, for example, projects can be in construction, projects can be in IT, projects can relate to organizational change within the company. Projects can also be about exploring new markets and launching new products. Uh, and it has some specified results. An example I like to give is if you take an accountant job, this job is not about change. This is something about day-to-day business, and it cannot be considered a project. But if people are working on something that improves their operations, that is a project. And if you apply project management methodologies while you're implementing projects, if you know certain things, you receive a number of benefits. You increase your efficiency, you increase your quality, you reduce your risks, you gain better control. Yeah. I like to think about projects. There is a very wide known concept known as an iron triangle. Iron triangle is, you can imagine yourself a triangle that has 3 points, quality, time, and budget. And the purpose of project management is to ensure that all 3 points of a triangle are met, because more often than not, there are difficulties in achieving all three things at once. For example, you can do the project on time and with desired quality, but you may overexceed in resources, or vice versa. You can spend resources within the budget. You can achieve your deadline, but the quality can be not to the level that you want it to be. And project management helps to solve these projects. Before we are starting managing projects, it's important to understand that generally projects are divided within themselves into different phases. And these phases are very distinct. They involve different work, and they require a little bit different approach to managing them. And project lifecycle management helps to break down projects into these chunks and helps to manage them in a required manner. Let's first go over the life cycle, general life cycle, the simplest one. You have a project initiation, you have project planning, you have project execution, and you have project closure. And generally, when people are talking about managing projects, we are talking only about execution phase. This is where the actual work gets done. But before and after, phases of initiation, planning, and closure are just as important. And if you fail at the initial stages, your execution phase is gonna suffer. And if you fail at closure, you are going to suffer in future projects, because it is important to finish projects correctly and ensure that their results are delivered as they are supposed to. If I want to describe these phases shortly, initiation is a phase where people decide whether to pursue this project at all. They gather data, they gather information, and they decide against numbers, against economic factors, against management decisions, if they think it's worth it. After the project is approved for going through, we're moving to planning phase, where we establish the rules of the game, basically. What is our plan for implementing the project? What project management methodology we are going to use? For example, waterfall and agile. I talked about agile in a different course. You can also watch it. And you gather your team, you gather your resources, and only after that you can start doing your execution phase. Execution is basically where all the work starts and where day-to-day management begins for a project manager, who ensures that we are staying within the boundaries that we established during previous phases. And after the project is completed, we make sure to do the formal closure to ensure that paperwork is in order, that we gather all the information and experience in a way that can be used further, and we deliver the project to our customer or stakeholder. Project initiation, as we established before, is about defining goals and scope. Usually during this phase, we come up with documents. They can be called differently in different companies, but it can be generally referred to as a project charter. This is the outline, the general description of a project about what we're going to achieve, what are our objectives, who is going to be impacted, what constraints do we have, and how we are going to achieve it. This is basically like a business proposal. After that, within the project charter or in a separate document, we can do the scope definition. This is more of a quantitative sort of thing with numbers to clearly describe what is the outcome of the project, because many projects suffer and fail because people are going into the project and they don't know exactly what they are going to achieve. For example, you want to bring a new product to the market, you know what market it is, and you know what product it will be, but you don't have marketing research, you don't know the quantity of this product, you don't know the specificities of this current market. So for example, how exactly are we going to tweak and change our product to fit into the market and achieve the best results? If we are just going to launch the new product into the market, it's not going to reap any rewards for you. And feasibility studies, this is a technical document that describes the economic factors that regarding the project. For example, for a factory, construction costs, when it will going to start bringing benefits, revenue, income streams. So basically technical, financial, resource constraints, what equipment we are going to use. Ideally, it should bring you the number like, okay, we're going through, and this is the means that we're going to achieve it with. So like a case study, as a project, for example, you can develop a mobile application to streamline customer service interactions, and you outline the scope, what this app is going to receive, what is this app is going to propose to the customer. In the next phase, you are going to the planning phase, and during this phase, you are going to develop a plan if you are in the waterfall methodology, this is a traditional methodology, what you are normally think about as plans, basically what kind of work you are going to do, when you are going to do it, and well the project will end. Like a very rigid structure that you adhere to and that you are comparing yourself against during the implementation of the project. And during this phase, you are also allocating resources, materials, equipment, decide the means with which you are going to achieve your results. But before all that, it is also important, apart from plan, to develop a work breakdown structure. This is about breaking down the project into manageable tasks with clear dependencies and timelines. And what do I mean by that? If you have an objective of simply building a house, it's not going to work because people don't know how to build a house like initially. You need to have the separate tasks, for example, for doing the roof, doing the foundation, doing the walls, doing the cleaning up, right? And after you establish the general tasks, you need also to break down where this is where this name is coming from, to break down these tasks as small as you can. So apart from if you have a task of laying the foundation, you need to have tasks of digging the hole, bringing the equipment, mixing the cement, and so on and so on. The smaller the tasks you are able to achieve during this phase, the easier it will be to you to plan the project and manage dependencies. You can have a very simple plan with just 5 steps, but this is not going to be beneficial for you because you can't really control it. You can't control, at least without proper experience, long-standing experience, without understanding when the foundation is ready. But you can control when the hole has been dug, when the cement has been mixed. This is easier for you to manage and control. And based on this, you can move on to project planning. Yeah, as we talked before, construction project planning is about establishing timeline within a strict time frame. You allocate resources and you allocate the budget for it. This is like a classic example of project management in construction industry. After that, you are moving on to the next task of project execution. This is where you are doing your day-to-day tasks. You have your team, and project manager is responsible for making sure that all the resources are participating. And by resources, I mean not only just materials and money, I also mean people, that they are involved in the project at their 100% capacity, that they have tasks assigned, that they do not have any constraints that do not allow them to do their work. This is your day-to-day job. And your job also is to track progress, what has been done today, this week, this month, present this result to the stakeholders, and you also need to issue resolution. Like an example of it, for example, if you have a software company and you are working with software engineers, you are making sure that they have the data they need to develop the software from the business people, for example. You trying to remove this constraint and ensure communication between software people and business people, for example. Acting as a liaison is a very important thing for a project manager, because what essentially project manager needs to do is to remove the hassle from their workers and making sure that they are focused on their work. Very general mistakes that people make is that instead of removing the hustle, they become the hustle. They always bombard the people with, is it done? When will it be done? What do you need? But their workers need to be liberated by you. And this is what is important. there is a term in my home country, it's called the seagull management. Seagull management is when people are working and manager just attacks them like a seagull, bringing no value to them, messing up the whole thing and then flying away. You don't want to be a seagull. You want to be someone who helps the people. Change management. Change management is a separate topic that we are going to cover in a separate module. But basically, what you need to know is, like in most cases, projects, despite all the planning, which is still necessary to do, projects are going to undergo change because the external environment is changing all the time. Internal requirements also changing, and projects need to adapt to ensure that the result is delivered to the best quality. And project change management is a special framework designed for people to help implement the best possible result for the project realization. Yeah, scope creep, case study. Let's move on. Risk management. Risk management is also a very important topic that is discussed in advanced project management methodologies. What you want initially to know is that risk in project management does not have a bad connotation to it. We generally refer to risks as something negative that can happen in the future, but risk management is about managing the unexpected, and this unexpected can also be positive. For example, you are realizing the project and you suddenly have influx of resources for your site, and risk management is about being able to identify preemptively what risks you might face, positive and negative, assessment of these risks, their probability, their impact, and plan your response. What are your resources? How you are going to respond? Which risks are more important? And how you are going to respond to them? Are you going to avoid them? Are you going to manage them? Are you going to transfer them? This is what risk management is about. Quality in project management is generally not about like the objective quality of product, like for example, is this computer mouse of a good quality? Yes, it is, but in project this is a little bit more complicated because quality means how the final product of your work is to the satisfaction of your customers, how it is within the framework and scope that you established at the beginning, and is it good right now despite all the changes, right? So you set your standards, clear quality criteria and expectations. You make sure that this quality is met throughout the realization of the project, and you also do the audits to ensure that your criteria is up to date and your control is effective. Stakeholders. When we are discussing people who are in this project, we are generally thinking about people who are directly involved. So, for example, you as a project manager, also people who are working on the project, and for example, the customer. But apart from it, there is this term that is stakeholder, and it is basically means anyone who is affected in any way by the project that you are doing. What do I mean by that? Stakeholder in a project can be news media because they cover the realization of your project and you need to be able to communicate with them effectively. Stakeholder can be a government because you obtain special licenses and regulations and you need to adhere to their standards. You have the customer who ordered you to do the project, but you also have the end user who is going to use the product in the first place. For example, use of your software, the people who are going to live in this home that you are building. For example, for the home, it is not only about people who are going to live, it is also about people who are surrounding the construction. How are they going to be affected by noise and construction mess that is going to occur? So you need to, at the initiation and planning stage, identify as much stakeholders as you can before moving on, and you need to develop your strategy for engagement with them, because every stakeholder may require different engagement strategy. You are going to talk one way with the government, you are going to talk another way with your media, and you are going to do you are going to talk third way with the customer, right? And you also need to be in this feedback loop constantly. Uh, you need to be able to always receive necessary feedback, and all these ground rules have to be established, because if you are doing this on the go, it is not going to be effective. And to achieve this, you are going to develop a communication plan. It's basically a list of your communication channels, frequency, and how you're going to distribute information. You are also going to develop status reports. This is like a special kind of report for a customer about how the project is going. And you're also going to need a system for documenting, escalating, and resolving project issues. And issues can be can vary very differently. For example, personal relationships within your team, budget constraints, design constraints, and so on and so on. And each issue will need a separate level of escalation. Some problems you can solve by yourself. Some problems you need to escalate to the project board, who are the ultimate decision makers for the project. Communication plan, and each company, for all the documents that I described, project management is about freedom, and you are free to develop these documents as you wish, because different projects require different level of detail. Some projects are very have a very big risk appetite, as we say, and they need a robust risk management initiative, but they don't need a lot of communication management, because the stakeholder list is not very large, and vice versa. And I want to show you how real life status report can look like. Just a moment. Yeah. So this is like a real life status report. PowerPoint is very useful for initiating status reports, because this allows to do them in a form of dashboard. Basically, you have a so-called a traffic light system, for example, about the deadlines, budget, results, and the general status, how the project is going, right? To understand at a glance, do I need to address the issues that I'm facing in this project? You have the deadlines you established, you can do the name of the project, project manager, and this is like a simple Gantt chart for based on the plans that you established for the general work, the high level work. And here you can show your completion rate and how the deadlines have been affected. This is just one example from a company where I worked at, but it's a common practice. Yeah, so project closure. This is also very important. Like, let's get the pleasant things out of the way first. It is important to do the celebration. It is important to be with your team and to acknowledge their success, to acknowledge the challenges that they faced, And you should not neglect the team building and people's factor in project management, because it is generally very important. But apart from that, first you need to complete the project, of course. You need to deliver what you promised. You need to do the formal procedure of acceptance criteria, that the product is to the necessary quality. Then you are going to evaluate the project, right? You need to document how the project was going. You need to acknowledge what challenges you faced, how you solved them. We call this lessons learned for future use by you or maybe someone else for in the organization, and that allows to keep the quality and speed of project management at a high level. And you are going to finalize all the documentation, because we can't live without documentation project management. Yeah, this is basically project lifecycle management and main aspects of project manager. Let's dedicate to remaining time. I would also like to introduce you to the SWOT technique. SWOT technique is something that is used during the initial stages. It is called SWOT based on the first letters of strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. This is a very good high level of analysis to identify the strengths and weaknesses and opportunities and threats in the projects, right? Because you have something that is internal and helpful, you have something that is internal and your weakness, and you have external factors. And by doing this, you recognize what has to be done, basically. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much. We are also going to cover change management in more detail. We are going to discuss how do you address change. And we're also going to advance project management methodologies. We're going to learn about agile and various project management tools. Thank you. See you in the next lecture.